reaching you from United Kingdom, North London to be precise. We give credit to the owner of the videos or audio to be used on this program. Disclaimer: Facebook/YouTube/Twitter. We have no rights to music or videos used on this broadcast and no intention to infringe on the copyright or profit from it. Please allow us to use this to educate our listeners.
For Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. We have come that the will of the Most High may prevail. Radio Biafra is unorthodox. The way we do things are markedly different from how others do it. We are under divine instruction. We have come that Chukwokika Biama may take control of these very proceedings this evening, for we are nothing without him. O Elohim, Chukwokika Biama Purimi Henine, unto thee we repose all that we are. Do not allow your children IPOB to be put to shame. Do not allow us to be devoured by the hands of the wicked. Do not allow us, O Mighty One, to fall prey to those who do not know thee. You will deliver us, not because we are righteous, but because of your mercy. Hear our cry and our supplication. We are not armed. We have not killed anyone. We have not jailed anyone. We have not done anything at all to warrant the level of destruction and carnage being visited upon your children. The same way Israel suffered, so is Biafra suffering today. And if you, Elohim, can deliver Israel, so will you deliver Biafra. That is our hope. That is our anchor of everything that we hold dear as a race and as a people. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake Biafra will come. Israel lost people, and today Israel is here as a beacon of hope in a land filled with darkness. We beseech thee, O Elohim, because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. We have come to honor your holy name. We have come to praise thee. We have come to honor thee, that your name may be glorified, adored, and praised forever and ever. Ise.
Without fear before our enemies, we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. We dedicate it into the hands of Chukwu Abiyama, the creator of the heavens and the earth, because only him decreed that we should exist as a race, and only him has the say to decide and to determine if we are to survive or not. We don't rest our hopes in any man. We don't believe that any country can do anything for us. We are going to reaffirm our faith in the supremacy of the creator of the heavens and the earth, Chukwu Abiyama, upon to whom and in whom every glory and honor belongs to. That's why we worship him and nothing else and no other. We worship the one true living God. That is who we worship. That is why we were created. We are not like any other people. We have been chosen by Chukwu Abiyama to serve him. We have been chosen by the creator of the heavens and the earth that we may serve him. That is why in our names it contains every praise imaginable. Every praise imaginable to the Most High is contained within our names because we are very special people. We are here to reaffirm and reiterate that. We are here to ensure that this very march towards our freedom cannot be hindered. Any obstacle on our way, real or imagined, man or woman, adult or child, anything it is, once you are an impediment to the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra, you will be destroyed completely and totally in every way imaginable. We do not forgive. There is no forgiveness in our dictionary. We are here to ensure.
Jamaica. T.O. All Media. Corrigendum. Mazzi NNAMDI KANU never gave any conditions for his trial as some media outlets had reported. My attention has been drawn to some publications in the media purporting that, at the last hearing of his case on April 17, 2024, Mazzi NNAMDI KANU had given conditions for his trial. By this press release, I wish to make it clear that any such publication, regardless of how well-intentioned, is misleading. For avoidance of doubt, below is the true state of affairs. 1. At the last hearing in April 17, 2024, the main issue before the court is our application to have KANU's bail reinstated, in line with the clear and unequivocal pronouncement of the Supreme Court in its judgment of December 15, 2023. 2. The kernel of our argument for bail restoration pivots on the determination made by the Supreme Court to the effect that KANU's bail was revoked in error, based on the misrepresentation or false premise that he had jumped bail, of which the Supreme Court made a finding that he did not. Below is part of what the Supreme Court had stated. See pages 10 to 13 of the judgment attached to this press release. The respondent was on bail and therefore in custody of the law when his home was illegally invaded by heavily armed military officers of the appellant, causing him to flee from his home and the country to secure his life. In the face of such an attack, it was responsible for him to flee to secure his life and physical well-being. That is what any normal and reasonable human being would do in that circumstance to preserve his life and physical well-being. It is glaring that the consequences of that attack were intended or foreseeable. This is not arguable. The appellant's officials knew that their invasion of the respondent's home caused him to turn away to secure his life and physical well-being. Yet during proceedings in the pending criminal case against him, they applied that his bail be revoked, that a warrant for his arrest be issued and his sureties forfeit their respective bail bond, and that his trial in his absence be ordered because he had jumped bail and is not in court to stand his trial. But they knew that their illegal actions made it impossible for the respondent to be in court for his trial. In a situation such as this one, where the prosecution has taken extrajudicial actions against the defendant in a pending criminal case brought by it, and made it impossible for the defendant who is on bail to be in court for his or her trial, it is wrong to treat such a defendant as having jumped bail in the sense that he is running from prosecution or running to avoid prosecution in the pending criminal case in respect of which he was granted bail. The respondent did not intentionally and knowingly fail to appear in court. It was therefore wrong and malicious for the appellant that had caused the respondent to flee from his home and country to secure his life, and that had therefore caused his unavoidable absence from court to inform and thereby deceive the trial court that the respondent had jumped bail. On the basis of this deception, the appellant applied to the trial court for an order revoking the respondent's bail, forfeiting the amount securing the bail bond of his sureties, and an order issuing a bench warrant for his arrest. It is glaring from the record of the proceedings in the trial court that it granted the said orders prayed for by the appellant with knowledge of the fact that the respondent's absence from court was caused by the invasion of his home by army officers of the appellant. Therefore, the trial court knew that the said extrajudicial and illegal actions of the appellant made it impossible for the respondent to be in court for his trial, that the respondent's absence is not intentional or deliberate absence, and that the respondent is not running from prosecution or running to avoid prosecution. In the light of the foregoing, the trial court acted unfairly and without rational and legal justifiable basis by its decisions revoking the respondent's bail, forfeiting the amount securing the bail bond of his sureties, and its order issuing a bench warrant for his arrest. The orders were made on the basis of the false assumption that the respondent jumped bail. It was on the basis of the order of arrest of the respondent obtained under the false pretense that he jumped bail that his extradition or rendition from Kenya was carried out, per Emmanuel Akame Ajim, JSC, at pages 10 to 13. 3. In addition to the above, there is a lot more of what the Supreme Court had said against the revocation of KANU's bail, and the consequent issuance of the bench warrant that grandfathered his infamous extraordinary rendition. To learn more, please pay some attention to pages 18 to 20 of the attached judgment. 4. It is on basis of this pronouncement that we made a vigorous submission on April 17 that the Federal High Court is bound to restore KANU's bail, as demanded by the Constitution at Section 287(1) thus. The decisions of the Supreme Court shall be enforced in any part of the Federation by all authorities and persons, and by courts with subordinate jurisdiction to that of the Supreme Court. 5. We further advance the common sense argument that bail restoration is the next best alternative that will enhance the environment for the accelerated trial the court had ordered, because it will put an end to the stringent DSS detention conditions which have posed grave risks to KANU's fair trial rights as guaranteed under the Constitution. 6. For good measure, we stress the point to the court that it is against the ethics of the legal profession for any lawyer to advise a client to succumb to trial whilst his detention conditions are not conducive to his constitutional right to unhindered access to counsel and the adequate facility to prepare his defense. It is even more egregious in the case of Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu, because most of the charges he is facing carry the death penalty. The foregoing is a summary of the case in chief we had presented in court on April 17, 2024. We never presented any conditions. We don't even fancy ourselves possessing the slightest coercive wherewithal to present conditions to the court or the Nigerian state. Thank you. Signed, Aloy Edgemaker, ESQ.
An acknowledgement by the Nigerian state about around the crimes and the atrocities that were committed by the Nigerian army during the civil war. So the entire conversation around Southeast separatism is still a very political live wire in the country, and Nnamdi Kanu sort of reviving those aspirations in the early 2010s through to 2020, right? Just sparked a really serious reaction on the part of the Nigerian government, and it led to the, illegal extradition, as you referred to in your introduction, and the trial, which continues today.
And his lawyers are saying that they're not getting the sort of access to him that they should get. They're unhappy too that he didn't get a bail on medical grounds. Is he, in those circumstances you've just described, likely to get a fair trial?
He is unlikely to get a fair trial, right? There are serious concerns about the the overall independence of the Nigerian judiciary, and particularly with respect to how the prosecution has treated this case so far. The first thing to recognize is that this is not the first trial that NNAMDI KANU right is he's standing, right? NNAMDI KANU's cases have been going through the court system one way or another since about 2018, right? And even back then, access to him was restricted. His lawyers complained that they've basically not been able to been given the opportunity to put up an effective defense, right? Because they've not had access to their clients. And the prosecution has largely gotten its way with respect to, all of the pleadings that it's made before the courts. The courts, for example, refused to consider the propriety of his extradition from Kenya, right, as material to this case. And also the prosecution is seeking very harsh sentence, right, on behalf of him. And generally under Nigerian law, defendants who are standing trial for things like treason, right, rarely ever get freedom. They rarely ever get off the hook. And more importantly, their trials are sort of treated in a special way, wherein basic access to human rights is generally left out the window.
Has he himself said anything? Been able to say anything recently?
So he hasn't spoken so much, right, in the past, and even recently, right. Really since his return back to Nigeria under the circumstances you described, NNAMDI KANU's public utterances have been very, very limited. He has not yet been given the opportunity to speak in court or enter a defense or really tell his side of the story, right. And right now you have a situation in Nigeria where even lawmakers, right, from the southeast, cultural and religious bodies have basically asked for, President Bola Tinubu, right, to either release him or at least guarantee that he will get a fair trial. And a lot of those concerns right now have not been addressed.
Ikemi Setefion, political pundit in Lagos. Thank you very much indeed.
You are listening to Newsday here on the BBC World Service with James and Vic, and George Addo is back in the studio with the sport.
Good evening, fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. This is Biafra Alpha Power Media International, and I'm reaching you out from the United Kingdom. My name's MAZI George Umeh. I reside here in the UK. I'm one of the principal servants of indigenous people of Biafra here in the United Kingdom, North London coordinator to be precise. And it's 21 minutes on top of 8 p.m. here in UK, presumably the same 8 p.m. in the holy land of Biafra. And we welcome you to Critical Analysis. This evening is going to be explosive exposition on who sold Mazzi NNAMDI KANU for $9 million US. As you can see, our intros has brought in a lot of what can I say? Because if you listen to our lead counsel's press release in the audio version of it, and BBC World Service for the first time apparently discussed this in their radio. And it is very, very important people understand that the position Mazzi NNAMDI KANU has taken is for the benefit of entire black race. But Biafrans are the ones championing it, bearing the burden, as he has chosen that part. But we all must, do what we should do. Like we likely said to us many, many years ago, whatever they ask you guys to do, do it, and really less for him. He is the one that God gave the mandate to restore Biafra after we fell 67 to 70. Doesn't matter what anybody think. Something I posted today on my personal Facebook wall. Biafra is a spiritual process. A lot of people don't understand it. Those that don't perceive it will be wandering in the wilderness. This is not about, it's not wishful thinking, and it's not a show. What we are doing is spiritual. And if you're not in spiritual endowed to perceive where we are going, you'll be misled. This evening, this program encompasses a lot, but I will kick off by, I've laid the foundation by our lead counsel and BBC, and we'll have to give that, you have to thank BBC for them to speaking out, understand that Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen, and as a Biafra, his fundamental right has been encroached. The whole world knows it. And the gospel of heaven is reaching every look and crowning, regardless what anybody's thinking. But if you look inward, you found out that the people that are sabotaging whatever we do right now are those that are within. There's no good news you will see them talk about. Did you see them sharing this BBC? They won't share it because they felt that it's not from them. Who cares if it's from you or not? What have you done for the past 3 years? Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. Kidnapped, that you guys, we are part of the people that sold onion. You guys did absolutely nothing. What you guys are campaigning is about the same thing. Go back on 2015, 16, we started Soldiers of Justice from Clifford Iruanya and Omiomio. Clifford, what happened in 2015 is happening again. Omiomio was not vocal. The person that we are championing was coordinator for coordinator Clifford Iruanya, just like we are seeing today. Chika Paul Edozie made a grave mistake and he's sovereign because Omiomio did something happen. Omiomio was that Omiomio attended the meeting that custodian to order him to suspend the rest of the DOS that didn't attend to that meeting. Omiomio went into his Facebook account and wrote that he would not suspend them, that all his comrades. I was the first man that questioned him. He blocked me, and Biafra started asking questions. That was why Onyendu sent him packing. The same thing had repeated himself again. Who knows Chinas and Woru? Tonight, I'm going to read a little foundation, before I come into the program and the pertinent question that will deserve. But as I move forward, there's things I need to clarify. Like you likely heard from our lead counsel, the press release, and there's an interview he gave. It's not the one he gave on Biafra Radio. There's one he gave to the widely media in the zoo, which I'm gonna flash it a little bit. I don't want to dwell on it too much because of time. Then I will now go to the people that are carrying propaganda because that's something we perceive. And we need to break it down to layman perspective because the purpose of this program is to expose whatever the cabal, their intention and their deeds. And the question of who sold Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu for 9 million, that question is question we must get answer from. Because Chinas and Woru came to Radio Biafra after a day I did the program. That was last Saturday. I did that program on Friday. He was interrupted section, but he couldn't answer calls. I don't know if I'm going to play that audio tonight because this program continues. But I'm going back. There's a place I'm going that some of you don't understand. And we'll have to go there. We don't just come here to talk. Everything we do here is very, very calculative and methodologically put in place. Everything was properly, scrutinized and is fact-checked before we come on air. So, firstly, everybody knew that after the 19th of March, even that particular proceedings were actually aired. People knew. And when the adjournment of the court was announced. And our lead counsel was on media, campaigning on the need that our leader is supposed to have his privacy before he go to trial, because without that, there will be trial within trial. Everybody knew the word no. When people told you that they did not know the day Onyendu was appearing in court, tells you all they need to know. I don't know if you're getting my point. When somebody said, and these people were people scavenging for information to write, because now they are bloggers. But they knew the day Onyendu was meant to appear in court. After that court, on the 17th of April, there was something that caught my eye. And that is where we all need to go back about the blackmailing that emerged in IPOB. But tonight, I'm going to show you where all these things started, where they hatched all this evil. What is knocking us today in IPOB? What has happened in Biafra land today There's nobody else that will take responsibility. It's only one man. But the rest of them will come with it, which is Chika Paul Edoziem, and he accepted it in audio. We have that evidence. Before I go forward, there's something I want to flash on screen because it's very, very important. And we'll have to thank all those that always be there, solidarity with our leader. And before we thank anybody, firstly, we have to thank KANU family as a whole. KANU family as a whole, because as we can see today, the only crime they committed is because they're still standing with their brother, their eldest brother. And their two parents have paid the ultimate price because of this struggle. And the disdain people have for KANU family is because they have not abandoned their elder brother. If they have abandoned it, they will tell you, people will come out and still say, but we told you that they will do so. But they refuse to be cowed. They stand firmly with their elder brother. No matter come sun, come rain, they're there. This is why a lot of people are not happy. They want to see their brothers abandon them. I saw this on Meme's wall this afternoon, and it was very, very important that I show this up. And as we put in hand to thank all the dignitaries that showed up, because before they said that our clergies and our politicians are not getting involved, but everybody showed up because they know the necessity. Without Mazim Nandekano, even though the mistake was not him that did it, Biafra land will never be the same again. Every sundry knows this. And that young man and his family with his wife, with his child, every day they're flowing. Another, on 20th again, they are going to Abuja. All of you are in your own comfort zone. None of you know how Mazin Nandekano is surviving. None of you know how Onyendu does. But what you guys do is to mock this family. You know, one thing I have to say is that the only crime they committed is because they have not abandoned Mazin Nandekano, because that is the only, they are the only, that, you see what happened in 2015-16. I have to reference Uchemofo, because Uchemofo, regardless of what Uchemofo have done, I have to reference that man. He was the blockade for them. Today, KANU, after Onyendu and Meme has been there from that same 2015, running Abuja, you know, every single week is going back and forth to Collection Center. The price, the thank you tell them is that Onyendu siblings has got nothing to do with IPOB. That have taken their two parents. That is the campaign they are going. But forgotten they have put in this on memo. I will show you all these things tonight to show you the disdain. When I told you people, the one they call Chinas and Woro, you see all these men, all of them, they have pathological hatred to Mazin Nandekano. And you know one thing, some of them wish that there are Mazin Nandekano biological brothers. They wish. That's the problem there. That is the crime they committed. Because if I ask you today to tell me where has KANU or Meme given any IPOB order that contradicts, that contravene IPOB code of conduct, none of you can give that. None of you can answer that question. Because what you talk about is hearsay. Chinos and what is hiding under his voice rapper talking. He can't show his face in the camera. He don't address people to know who is talking. He cannot bring one single evidence that he said that KANU said to prove that what you're saying is true. But KANU, even when they asked KANU about Onyendu, remember the guy, the Burumini of South Africa, interviewed him then, I think in 2021. I remember that conversation. KANU said that he's not going to talk about who kidnapped Onyendu, that Onyendu is still alive, but you people have written Onyendu out. The first person that accused somebody about who sold Mazin Nandekano was Chinas and Woro, I will prove it tonight. Because like I said, anything I say, I will give you evidence. The first person that started accusing on Radio Biafra that all of us used to worship was Chinas and Woro. Who knows Chinas and Woro? I will show you the brokers that after he announced that particular sit at home, ghost town, the next joint brokers they had as the DOS, that is where he marched. I will give you the evidence tonight. So I want to bring you guys back from where all this problem started. So, like I said, we thank all those people that always our elders and our clergymen and IPOB family members, those that stand firmly. Onyendu said is 100 men and women with clean hearts that will carry them and will give us Biafra. Now I will move. Our lead counsel does an interview, but you know his broadcast his his president has surpassed that particular interview he granted. So I will not have to play that audio because of time. I need to swiftly go into what I came here to do tonight. Very, very important. Now, I want to flash something here to Biafrans, to you to see by yourself, even though I posted this on my wall. Do you see how these people, how they're making mockery of themselves? You see this family writer, Press International, Uchemofo, former deputy leader of IPOB, kicked again. He never approved this particular so-called family writer. I remember Somton was involved in this, and this guy they called including all of them, Amarachi, them, all these guys, Moses, all of them was involved. But Uchemofo said no. Uchemofo said no. This guy they call Emeka Gift live in Ivory Coast. He used to, IPOB was paying him $200 or $250 monthly. Onyendu can designate, and I don't have issues with it. That is not inducement. Maybe he's not doing anything, and if finding fit, that is something that Onyendu authorized. It is not across board of IPOB. Those that were getting paid, Onyendu single-handedly put them in that position, and they don't question it. Because in our code of conduct, it defines how the hierarchy of IPOB runs. Our code of conduct defines, it's not verbally said, like you know, someone say Onyendu said. Our code of conduct said. That alone told that the guy is daft. Like the audio will play at Chikedozen. He said that Onyendu said whenever it's not there, that Chikedozen will be the next man. Whereas we have already, deputy leader in IPOB was abolished. So there's nothing like second in command to Mazzi NNAMDI KANU. Doesn't exist. He doesn't put his signature there because Onyendu authorized it. So Onyendu will not sign everything. Just our code of conduct, which we're supposed to sign in, which we couldn't do it, he authorized, allow him to do it, but doesn't make him second in command. Now, it doesn't have that position. That's not the position. It must be said exactly what it cannot be a CEO in a company. And he claiming that he be a manager, claiming to be a CEO in a company. It doesn't work that way. But IPOB is not a company. IPOB is a freedom fighting movement. And we are static. And we practice what they call quasi-military system. Onyendu have the last say. Nobody can contravene it. But do you see what they did? After the court case, because these men they're lost from every flank. You know, once you can't have access to Mazzi NNAMDI KANU, your popularity diminish. And they will fizzle away. Where is Clifford Iruanya? Where is Omiomio? Where is Imanamu Gochuku? Where is let Imam Mezume, he so rest in peace, a good man. All these men, do you still remember them? Where are they today? All of them fizzle away. That's the fact. And the former deputy that say, is that like you're an IPOB outside IPOB yapping? Now, this is what people went and wrote. I'll read. Family Writer Press International. A very riffraff and all these Yahoo boys that lives in Ivory Coast. This is what is right. NNAMDI KANU appearing in court today. But there was no prior information about that from legal team. That is a falsehood. This is widely shared. From the day they were go to their ward and find that they were reporting what was happening in Abuja while they don't have anybody there. They were struggling because they put themselves in that position. But just to disdain. Now they turn it against Ejimako. Ejimako is an employer to IPOB and Mazzi NNAMDI KANU at large. This is not a personal thing. There's no sentimental on this. The man is doing his job. That's why I put the tweet here. The reason why I'm showing this is to see what these people have caused in IPOB. Misinforming is something a Jofo have done from day one. Misinformation is a crime. We're talking about Nigeria. What these men are these men not? And these are not. Are these people are not monsters? Ejimako tweeted about on 17th of April. We still hold as shadow. All of them have Ejimako tweet. His tweet is put it in Facebook screenshot. They all saw it. There's so many people that even myself we tweeted. We talked with all road to Abuja. They're playing dumb because they want to score cheap popularity, but forgetting that internet does not forget. I think they think we are playing because we will hold them accountable in everything they say. The man make it clear there. He said, for your information, Mazzi Nankan's case set for 17 April we hold as scheduled. As usual, the court shall convene at 9 a.m. and we expect proceeding to be underway shortly thereafter. Ground Zero Federal High Court, Abuja, Hatch MMK league team, legal team is ready. No distraction, absolutely. Now, the same people went back and saying nobody told them. It is important that we indicate this to our people to see the damage these people have caused. That is why Onyendu was almost 3 years in the SS dungeon. They could not grant our leader to speak to the press, to damper what is happening in our land. Ejiofor is feeding fat. All of them, we will show a lot of video tonight. This program is going to go to 2 hours, you know what I mean? Because I started with some intro, and I don't mind. You know, I will finish it off. Probably I will lay foundation and finish up in the next episode 10. I'm not going anywhere because I need to pieces what they are doing. So this particular program we do here, it's not something you listen in a hurry. It's a documentary because it takes a lot to get it together. Take my word for it. You know what I mean? So now, this is what they said, but at least you have seen here that this was surely wise, but they lied. They were lying. They hide it to themselves. What exactly are they hiding? Imagine, NNAMDI KANU. Now they're mocking our leader, but these people are irrelevant. They are irrelevant. They have made themselves they have fizzled away. Now they're mocking Onyendu indirectly, international icon, that these lawyers and siblings have relegated his court case to that of a common case. They're calling it common case indirectly because anything they say is what Chinasa won't tell them to do because they're throwing everything they have. This guy is controlled by Chinasa, so it's not him speaking. This is Chinasa Nworu's word because when he talks, this is how he talks. When he speaks, when I play his audio, we see that the writing is his words. Emeka Gift does not have the ball to write this. He won't write this on his home, in his own personal handle. He cannot write this. But they hide under this family writer and doing this. And who is engineering this? Ichina Sanwo. You know, their plan will not work as long as the struggle for the freedom of Biafra remain a divine project. And Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu divinely ordained superhead. How Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu superhead didn't know the day his court case was, if he's one that superhead. If Nnamdi Kanu is your leader, he didn't know. Even if they didn't tell you, he didn't go and find out. All of you are media warrior. See him fighting. IPOB is a media warrior. Tells you all you need to know. I want to stress on this to understand because this is how the propaganda have gone over 3 years. They have not achieved anything. All the threat they threatened the Nigerian government was, you know, they were hyping up because they've been paid. They cannot do more than a dead rat. To be honest with you. I just showed you. I will take it one after another. Because this happened on the course of all this whole thing. Now, there is something I want to show you. Because, you know, over time, they bring distraction. I tweeted, as I wrote this on my Facebook. Let me put this picture up. I need to talk about it before I move forward. Because all of them compasses. This is the day Onyendu went to court. I think the same day Onyendu went to court. This particular picture surfaced. When people are seeking validation, do you know what validation is? I think this is the office of so-called ceremonial prophet Mike Ezekome. It's a ceremonial. You know, forget all this nonsense that is in the shelf. It don't mean nothing. To be honest with you. Now, I want to make it clear here. Our leader wife traveled back home to go and see Onyendu. We are aware of it. But what does this tell you about how far this man can go? You see what the man wrote? He said, gratitude in action / Lolo. Uche Kanu. Thank you. Visit to Professor Mike Ezekome, Sam, and Sir Ifeanyi Ejiofor Esquire. Now, did you see Onyendu's wife posting this in her Facebook or in her Twitter, tweeting that he went to visit them? They are not the only people that she went to visit at home. I want to make one thing categorically clear here. This is a distraction, but this is to tell you that including Ezekome himself, Ezekome Sam, as you might call him, of all his career, he has never been known. He might be followed some cases before, but for him to be in the limelight, it's only this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, which he was paid handsomely. Over 80 to 90,000 US dollars collected from IPOB. The evidence of payment is there. He brought him, he recommended him because he couldn't stand Ejimako being the lead counsel. So they quote Sam, ceremonial Sam, that could not use, that allowed him to sworn affidavits when the case was won. Then his sworn affidavits, they sell the case. Their plan is state managed. This is why I'm bringing this. I want to explain to you that Ejiofor and Ezekome was once employed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB at large. They worked for us. They're no longer working for us. And that does not mean that we have any grudges against them. Just like every single of you that have places you work. If you work in a company and left that company, it must be that's guidance principle that hold you when you walk into a company. Because when you left that company, you might, or not might, you need a reference tomorrow to work in another place. Once you breach that particular, it's better data protection and other things you shouldn't say when you left the company, it will be very difficult for you to move forward again, because that company, anytime they contact them, your career is finished. So Ejiofor and Ezekome is not an enemy to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on IPOB at large. They have worked, they failed, they compromised. The evidence is abound. So if Onyendu wife went and said, do you know why she went there in the first place? None of you know why. But he wrote all this garbage here to confuse some of you gullible one, and they're wrong with it. People are reading meaning out of she going there to go and see Ejiofor and Ezekome. You don't know what she went there to go and question them what they have done, because it was his father that recommended Ejiofor. Our leader's wife, father was the one that recommended Ejiofor. Ejiofor was mentioned in the 9th of January 2016 here in the United Kingdom. The first time they presented this man name to IPOB is on record. That is how he came on board after Obete fell. Did anybody hear when Obete was leaving? Did you see how Obete for one day speak? That is how professionals behave. When Obete was leaving, Obete walked away because you know his services is finished. Move on with his life. But this nitwit is seen here, and this man is a charlatan. Because I'm so disgusted that you allow yourself to put in this on social media to get what? That is still around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, your IPOB lead counsel. Which IPOB? The one your father or your mother formed. You need to tell me. Now, this is why I'm saying this, but I want to show you something now. The same person, Ejiofor, is telling you that she came to say gratitude, thank you, this, that. Pay, visit, heart, pay. He said Kanu, he said Kanu paid a heartfelt thank visit to both professors. You know, all this advertisement is a childish stuff. But let me show you what Ejiofor said about Uche Kanu's father. Uche Kanu's father. That brought Ejiofor. It was her father that brought Ejiofor to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. Let me show you. The one she does have said is different. But let me show you what he wrote about the same man that he's talking about today. Let's watch it and see. Let me bring it into the screen, because it's very, very important. Whatever we talk about, we show it to you. There's no two ways. There's no, we don't pamper things here. Everything is very, very transparent that even a layman can see. So now I'm going to read it out to you. This is one junk they wrote, and it's titled "How the Plot Orchestrated by Lawyer Ejimako Nnaemeka, Maxwell Okora, and Nnamdi Kanu sibling has severely damaged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal case." The untold story, which Ejiofor sworn on affidavits. Go and ask Ejiofor, why was the case still at Supreme Court? Because Ejiofor sworn an affidavit on other Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on hearsay, and Ezekome allowed it. That was state managed. Now, on this is what he said. I'm gonna read all of them, but I highlighted all. You see the green. This is where he mentioned Uche Kanu's father's name. Or let me start from He said this individual is driven by excessive ambition and selfishness have restored to deceitful tactics such as lie, blackmail, and voodoo to achieve their goals. Allow Ejima and Maswell in order to quest to dominate as lead counsel. If you are doing well, they wouldn't dominate you at all costs. Have disregarded the well-being of their client, Mazzi NNAMDI KANU, collaborating with Mazzi NNAMDI KANU's father-in-law, Odozi, Ani, who harbored a grudge against barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. They conspired to undermine KANU's case. So, if our leader's wife went to Ejiofor to go and thank him for Ejiofor, none of you know why he went there. This is what Ejiofor wrote against Uchechu KANU's, our leader's wife's father. And the one Chijan Sawolu said is on audio, which I have here. I'll rest my case. But they're seeking validation. Now, there's something I want to say. There's some campaign they started today again about I think yesterday about Onyendu's siblings, that they're not IPOB member and whatnot. I'm going to show you an audio. Chike Doziem, one of his broadcasts tonight. Because like I said, whatever we say here, we'll give you evidence. There's nothing we say we cannot back up with evidence. And let me say something to you. KANU, I was privy to I think I seen KANU in 2016 in UK here. And I preview with KANU from, I think, 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And since I get in contact with KANU, not a basic of because he's Onyendu's Bronca brother, it's based on IPOB. Even in monetary affairs, I'm talking about we have evidences even here in UK. When we're doing issues concerning money, KANU will be the first to even to send his own money. But I want to tell you to ask those individuals that are saying this thing to show you, call Chike Doziem to give you the Chike Doziem, they're paying 2,000 euros. We'll prove all of them tonight. Right? How they have been contributed. Now they're campaigning about Onyendu's siblings, that nobody should deal with them. Ask yourself why. Do you know the reason? Because no one is talking to them anymore. But they've forgotten they have. Let me show you that Chike Doziem have actually written a memo against Okukano family. Against Okukano family. Telling the world that they have got nothing to. But in this particular memo, Chike Doziem is telling the world that none of Onyendu's siblings. But I'm asking, has any of Onyendu's siblings ordered, given anybody order, contrary to IPOB code of chain of command? They are Onyendu's younger brother. Onyendu has been in DSS 3 years. Chike Doziem, is there any of your brother or sister have gone to see Onyendu in DSS? Austin Abani, have any of your brother or sister have gone to visit Onyendu? Have any of your brother or your mother or your father have gone to see Onyendu in DSS? Who is going there to see him? Is he not the same siblings? Is he not the same brothers? My question is very simple. So understand. KANU have not told me George Umeh, since I know him, to do anything contrary. If he came out, if he didn't go in the interview, he said he supported DOS. The only issue was that people refused to carry Onyendu's order. That was the problem. That was the problem, including myself here. Our problem is not because of issue. Everything we say came to pass. So when you about KANU now, the problem is that people don't want to talk to you guys anymore. You guys destroyed IPOB structure, stole all IPOB money, closed all your accounts, which evidence is there. If people have not told us, I asked you the last time, the case in Germany, please tell us what has happened in Germany, please. You guys gave the account, IPOB worldwide account, they broadcast it. Italy, they broadcast it. You people saw the money in there. And you still say you don't know what IPOB, what you done with IPOB money. You people are privy to the account. I said one for 7,000, you people edit. Umeh, the account, you have not told us how much was in there. I'm going to play the audio that you authorize Umeh account, contrary to Onyendu's order. Like I said, anything we say will give you evidence. So I just showed you. So they have forgotten that they have tried this campaign before. They started it again because now they are begging. I'm telling you about farming. Our people have finished farming. People are waiting for harvest now. We are in April. In our land, there nobody's farming anymore. People have finished farming. So they don't have any avenue to siphon money from people. And I'm going to show you sense of shenanigans they have shown, say ESN this, ESN that. All this are lies. They're in the same boat. All of them are criminal from A to Z. Not for interest of Biafrans or IPOB, no. If you give more money to them, it's not for Mazzi and KANU. All of you know how our leader behave. We had this before, like I said, 2015-16 was Onyendu stole IPOB defense fund. It is Clifford Ryan says $1 million then. When Onyendu ordered for that statement of account, they ran away. America contributed less than $3,000. It was in America. That was the day defense fund issue ended, just like what we are seeing now. They have preview to IPOB worldwide accounts in Germany. They went there to commit fraud. They have not told us the outcome of the case in Germany. We are still waiting for people to tell us so. We are still waiting. I think you guys break news. The pizza seller, the general pizza that lives in Germany, the guy have not told us what happened. The one that they tell us that they're giving him hope. Okay, now I want to show you something. The campaign they started, very damning one. And you know, the people they are using to do the campaign is quite bizarre. That's why I put the memo. Something that I've written memo before. Just like when they tell Onyendu to talk about Simon Epa, forgetting about what legal processing is. You're claiming that you are administrative of IPOB, head of the United States. You have written memo before against your boss sibling. Do you have the disdain? It doesn't matter what people did. They don't have the temerity to pick up pen and paper and stamp Mazzi and can approve and stamp it against his own family. Without waiting for Mazzi to come out from prison or getting authorization for Mazzi and can. Even when Onyendu have sent a Geoffrey to tell them that neither Madam Nyanya or Caroline or KANU has anything to do with those that adopted him. It's on record. It was a Geoffrey that passed that message, not even a Jimako. It's on record. But they still took them hell bent because they were pushing him. China Sawolo was pushing him. It's KANU. And ask China Sawolo, what did the KANU do? Just like he said, people ask KANU. He should be the one because he's the first they cast the stone first. I will show it to you tonight. KANU has not responded directly to this animal. So far as I thought is concerned, even if I have one-on-one with him, Barry never talked about him, never mentioned his name. To show you how degrading this animal is. He's a beast. Because your heart is that you think, do you know how IPOB was formed in the first place? Do you know what is behind IPOB? You live in Kuwait in desert. I know you cannot, you don't have paper to come to you. I don't think you have paper to go to any European country. I will bet my life for it. I will bet my life for it. I will stop it there. Now, I want to show you something. Now, this is what I saw yesterday and today. I doubled one of them was broadcasting yesterday talking about, this is what this guy wrote. This is one they call Patrick Inkem. It is quite bizarre that this, you know, when the Italian Exposition was going on, the national coordinator said, even when this guy they called, what was this former national coordinator? That lives in England now, somewhere in England here. His name again is Iruanya. Iruanya was the person that started Kaba in Italy with Chikedesium after siphoning the fund and Michael Iruanya. So this very individual here was Iruanya boy. I've get in contact with him based on back in the day when this whole thing started, but he's a wimp. Like the Italian people said, they said it, that is not me, that her sister was a prostitute, that it was a prostitution when they brought him to Italy. And as you can tell, because the guy is inconsistency, Look at someone like this writing against KANU that KANU is not a member of IPOB. But his boss, Chike, open his mouth. Chike acknowledged that KANU is paying his monthly dues, that he can provide a receipt or evidence of payment. But this animal here said he wouldn't pay because he doesn't want to give his money to Madam Nenyanya. But he's sitting in Padova in IPOB. An IPOB contributed form they call one room they rented there or 2 rooms they pay 2 years ahead where they are having sex with each other. Then with Tina Samoru's elder sister, the devil herself. This guy wrote this thing, and I have to copy it. I don't want to respond because it's waste because I know I'm going to do program today, so I want to respond generally to all of them. Now, he wrote here that these two individuals are siblings of Mazzi and NNAMDI. They are not member of IPOB. They are not authorized or ever been authorized to represent IPOB at any given time. They have not authorized to speak for IPOB. Also, they have not been a member of IPOB, member of IPOB, DOS or leadership or IPOB leadership. Very, very bizarre. Because him himself, even he was begging for position because they are looking for paper within IPOB. It is quite disheartening when I see things like this. It breaks my heart because people will from what they told you is what you said, but you didn't ask question, you didn't know, and it is very, very. That's what they call. How can you say people are fake news? BBC. I remember when BBC put his face when they were doing documentary. He called me seeking for advice. Is he going to sue this idiot you seen here? Called me. I never for one day pick up my call. I've never called, but Patrick and Kemi, if he said I've called you, screenshot the time George will make all your number. He called me based on that when we have I'm a group call, Mazzi call. That way you get my number. I don't know you from Adams. It is bizarre. But you're writing this here without knowing. All these things is boiled down to money. Any group dealing with them in the name of IPOB to ESM are doing so on their risk. Anyway, it's fine that you guys are saying this because we understand where you guys are coming from. All these things boils down to money. Because people now are starting to understand. There's no money coming in. Every single money you guys collected, what have you done? We have not accounted to all the money. Chikapole, Doziem, and a gang of criminals. All the money you get here, we know. Chikapole, Doziem, after Umeh the account, you know it was falsified. And he announced it that account has been, nobody should pay money in there. He himself announced it. He announced it, he opened it and closed it. He still paid £10,000 from UK here into that account. The woman that paid the money told us. We didn't know. Because the woman actually logged up Madam Nenyanya from the account. Every fraud that committed in IPOB, they did it. They turned everything upside down. So, and I want to show something. I want to flash them quickly. And now, let me start by showing you the caliber of people they are using to do all this dirt. Before, I just saw one this afternoon, and I have to save that.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
And you make it clear now. And you make it clear now that now they are not among us. They are not working with us. They are against us. Despite that, so please.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Particular lady, I don't really want to talk about this, but
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
We can't get that 2K now. We can't get 3K. We can't get 3K when they remain now for people who go take it for line. But the remaining 12,000 when we take share remain yesterday. I'll give Mazzi Madabushi 4,000 naira. I'll give Oanji 4,000 naira. Then I'll give Sister Chalugo 4,000 naira. That is 12,000 naira. So
this, I don't have problem if a genuine IPOB member need help. And like I said, when you designate people to be helping them, it is not something that people should depend upon. Because IPOB, don't forget, we are freedom fighting and we are grassroots. That means that we are volunteer. Whenever you start tagging things with money, this is why you see them today shouting that the media worms. Media worms. There's two categories of media warriors. Media worms, they call themselves. The ones in abroad here, they hold them ransom because of the asylum they're seeking. They want them back home with the stipends they hold them with. That is what is happening. And it's all about money. You can hear the lady talk about, don't say they give Mazzi and KANU's money. So now you can see where they're coming from. And the message is very clear. I want to clarify this because it's very, very important. I don't want to dwell too much on it. I have not had time for the media worms yet. When I have time, I will deal with them. So now I want to start from Chika Paul Edoziem. Let us go to Chika Paul Edoziem. No, let us go to the broadcast China Sanwo-Olu, which they call the dogs, did after he announced sit at home that Onyendu didn't authorize. The sit at home that rocking Biafra land today, and you see them, they make calling people name. One thing you must know is that no matter what happened in Biafra land today, who is responsible is Chika Paul Edoziem. It doesn't matter what happened. Even it doesn't matter what the person is doing. Who is responsible for it? Chika Paul Edoziem. That is what it is. After he announced that, even he confirmed that Onyendu was sending message, everybody was reluctant. But let us show you how China Sanwo-Olu emerged. China Sanwo-Olu was a common Middle East rep that couldn't salvage Middle East. Kuwait, where it is, doesn't contribute to that. And they have then China Sanwo-Olu published what Kuwait was contributing in IPOB from when he was there and now. It's absolutely zero. Do you know how I want to play these two particular things? If I play them tonight, analyze it tonight, the next broadcast I'm going to do, I'm going to deal with the audio that he just talked about because there's so much contradiction. And we're not letting anything go. But before I go, let me address Benjamin in Madbook because I remember the last program I did, Benjamin in Madbook was involved. So there's audio I failed to play. I want to play it after finishing with it and not done. And because Benjamin in Madbook is quite irrelevant, but I need to address that issue. You know, personally to keep him where he is in a bay. Very, very important. Then let's listen. There's something I want to highlight here before I move forward.
Our Media International.
When his junior brother, which is a Meme Fine Boy, came out, he was addressing some people. So I look at those crowds. I see some people that I know following Eberima. That was what attracted me to go there. So because they are there, that is why I try to.
Now he say he see people that are following Eberima that attract him. Who are the people that push those people to Eberima? You're calling him. That name, people don't know who brought that name, but that name. That guy, Simon Ekpa, does not demand it. His name is because I think Simon Ekpa is like a sent to where you people are. This is my personal opinion. Simon Ekpa is a sent to where you people are. I have never followed Simon Ekpa because people know in his so-called super chat, including Chikedozium, all of you people were there. People screenshotted your people's name that were people that were going to watch Simon Ekpa back in the days. Even when you say go and listen to him for one day, I have never. Because I know when Onyendu made that, there's a statement Onyendu made. I know Onyendu sent message, and that was where I put my red pen there, and that was it. That's my personal view. But today, he said Eberima. Those people, even the Umeh in South Africa, say they were the people that pushed them because they know what they were doing. Because they wanted, when they campaigned against Madam Nyanya, Simon was involved vigorously. The audio that the guy that could not cross maintenance to go to abroad that went back, say he saw because of Mazzi Kanu, started attacking Madam Nyanya in BTV that were contributing money for. Chikedozium said nothing. We have the evidence. Like I said, we don't say things without going back to the genesis of what have transpired. You saw people, IPOB members that you people sold. Now they're following Eberima. That's what attracts you. But he couldn't. Those people was when Onyendu was able, the house was intact. But Onyendu, barely 3 years, you people destroy what Onyendu built for almost how many years? For almost going to 11 years now. And he's saying this openly.
To ask Fine Boy some questions to their own hearing so that they will understand that they are being deceived. That is what I wanted to achieve that day.
Now, he said he wants to ask the same siblings of Mazzi Nnamdi that have no business with IPOB. The same siblings they're campaigning now. Listen to me, oh. This dwarf here said he went to ask Meme. I have that audio video. I don't want to play. This guy was acting like a lunar, even a street boy, like a twat. He jumping down Meme's throat. The same Nnamdi Kanu siblings that is irrelevant. They are inconsequential. Why are you seeking validation from Meme? I thought you went to see Onyendu. Why don't you have seen Onyendu 101, and why don't you go back and see Onyendu again? Why are you asking Meme? Do you see the double standard here? This same Nnamdi Kanu sibling that you people have brought memos, said that anybody know. So why will people believe them? They don't have any business with IPOB. Why are you asking him? You ask him Meme have to validate it. But they are nobody. I want people to pay attention.
To show them that they are being deceived. You understand? So I was asking Fine Boy, did Onyisi, our leader, told you that we have two leaders? He said no. He answered that question, no.
Because Meme is a gentleman. Our leaders' family are very cultured and learned people, very loving people. If it was me, George Umeh, my two hands will go right into your eyes publicly. Everybody will see it. I swear to my dead father. If it was me, anyway, it wouldn't dare. It wouldn't dare, my brother. To be honest with you. That mouth that he opened, with that mouth, he wouldn't use it to speak. Because Meme is a gentleman, that's why. What you have done, you know everything you've done. That's why I want this audio to play. There's something he said I want to remind, because we will visit that particular comment you made. But I want to analyze this piece because what you just said. You are shooting yourself in the leg. All of you put together. We told you any move you guys made now is suicidal. The same Mazzi Nnamdi siblings that the devils are Satan are the same people you're seeking validation from to the public. Double agent himself.
Okay. Did our leader told you or say inside the court that there is anything like a government in exile or prime minister or crime minister of any type? That when those autopilot criminals was making noise, I think that was what made him not to speak further. So he keep quiet, not answering my questions.
And you see, now this is how you know someone is daft. He's analyzing somebody that is now seeking validation from, because Meme opened his mouth even to answer. Do you see how petty and delusional people can be? That is what it is. Let me say something to you people. You see those people you're calling autopilot. When autopilot issue came up, George never used word autopilot for one day, because IPOB is not an autopilot. Simon Ekpa because Simon Ekpa was playing in the gallery. He understood what he was doing with you guys. He's not for people like us. And for one day, I have never entertained that name, and I will never entertain it. These are disgruntled IPOB member you people pushed out. The word I use for them is disgruntled IPOB members. Genuine, some of them are genuine. But because our people, the gullibility of average Igbo man is next to nothing. So autopilot criminals, and who are you? What are you? What are you, Benjamin Madbug? The crime you committed, you say it here with your mouth. I want you to say it with your mouth, so I will remind you. You know, we don't come here to say he said. What he said is what I'm going to use against you. And we oblige you guys to continue talking. But it's good, you confirm with your own mouth.
So when I find out that he's no more talking, he don't want to answer my questions, that was what angered me to leave them. Because I have seen the people that surround him already. I know some of them. I know they're following this criminal. Do you understand? And when this person,
those people are IPOB member, because the day Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu will come out, will define who is autopilot and who is not autopilot. Like I said, I don't use autopilot as a word. Whatever that has happened, you guys caused it. Everything that happened in IPOB is detrimental to Chike Doziem and all of you. Nobody created them. You people accepted autopilot. You people accepted the name. That's why the name emerged. 2015-16, we have what they call Ripop, Tripop, whatever they brought. We never used that name. We never validate. We never validate that name for one day, because the moment you validate it, you already give it power. Because you guys powered the so-called autopilot. The one autopilot, you guys powered it. Like I said, it was the vision of Mazzi. We knew what was happening. Ripop, Tripop came up, but at the end of the day, IPOB as a family for one day never address it or mention that word. That's why when I look at all of you are clowns. Clowns. Today, Simon Ekpa is your alibi, even though Onyendu. That is why any one of you that wake up every morning calling Simon Ekpa, let me tell you what you're doing. You are imparting generational cost to your children. Do you know why? Because you are directly, grossly insubordination to Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu and the oath of IPOB. Because what Onyendu say become law. Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu say no matter what, that DOS should not respond to Simon Ekpa means every IPOB member. Now, take away Simon Ekpa, what else are you guys talking about? I'm just curious to know. Remove Simon, which you guys created. Whatever happened in Biafra, you guys created. So, what is it that you guys are doing to move this struggle forward? For the past 3 years, Mazzi Nnamdi Kanu is behind bars. Can you guys give us one thing? I'm asking just one achievement or direction you guys have pushed us, other than destroy what you could not build. It is quite, I don't know how to describe this. But let's continue.
was coming from me to him, I see them start to, they start to boil. But their own is not, it wasn't my problem. My problem was the fine boy refused to respond to me. So I start to think that maybe was he afraid to speak, or was he?
This guy say he lived in Russia. I don't want to disrespect him. I don't know which year he went to Russia. But, when someone IQ, when you have a low IQ, is a big issue. This guy, they have done everything to this family of a Wukano family. Sometimes when you're nice, people would, especially our people, they will take you for a ride. Like I said, it is very rare people will tolerate that. First of all, Fine Boy was someone being interviewed. Fine Boy, this guy jumped on the interview. The guy, to show you how uncivilized this animal is. Uncivilized. Somebody was being interviewed, talking to somebody else. You can't even jump into my conversation. I don't give a crap who you are. Dude, I will mess you up. It's on my camera. I will mess you up and I will take it with you in any level. And here, his problem is Meme. You see? His problem is, why would Meme be your problem? I thought they are nobody. Why is Meme your problem? Do you see where the problem is? Do you know why I'm stressed? That's why I said, this audio, I don't care if I deal with it, I will go. Do you see where the problem is? Even though I will get the audio about Benjamin Imadu, what he did to Meme, he is explaining it here, and Meme still keep cool. Never said a word to him. Focus on what was said. Tells you orientation is matters in life. Orientation is not how much you have in bank account mean anything. But that's why you see somebody from Nigeria come to UK here. He found out that your life, you've been living in a wife for years, bro. Coming to this country is like it will not even to you to get a driving license. You have to start like what my kids they will do when they turn 17. They start reading to get their driving license on 50, 60. He understands that to live abroad is not a child's play. I'm being honest with you. Culture, orientation is one of the things that's important. Meme, I will bring that video. If me, George, I'm not saying any other person. They know me. I'm not saying it because I'm talking on because I'm on live on air. I'm not a violent person, but I have a limit I can tolerate. I have a limit. I don't give a crap. I don't care. Like I said, I have a limit I can take. But this young man here is actually abusing the right that's given to him, even though what he did was unconstitutional. You can't jump into two people's conversation in a real world. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. That's already you become agitated and violent. You're being violent already because you're the violent one. By shouting, getting involved, no one calls your name. Nobody calls your name. You just jump into the conversation. Jesus Christ, man.
Refuse to speak because of the noise. Those people there.
I want to welcome you, Mazzi Madubu. And the last caller, the reason why Mazzi NNAMDI KANU siblings are doing those things is because there's no consequences. We have been shouting this, we have been saying this, DOS, Exposition Department of Chawas. Meanwhile, this is in Canada.
Okay, this person is advising them they're supposed to have killer machines, which they have already. So that is attributing it to now Mazzi NNAMDI KANU's siblings to use their mercenary to kill Mazzi NNAMDI KANU's siblings. That's what the person is advising them to do. This is what we see here on the radio, national radio. This is advice they brought on the radio. People call this man living in Canada, giving them insight that they will have a killer machine, secret killing squad. When people will mistake, they'll... Igbo language is not hidden. Igbo can be translated, you dumb idiots. Google Igbo. Igbo can be translated. When you speak Igbo, think nobody hear what you say, you're almost the dumbest human being on earth. When you speak Igbo language, thinking that is a secret, you must be the dumbest human being I ever come across in my entire life. Just know that. Some of you rant and say, I want to speak it in Igbo. Someone that have interest, that is when the person now will go into details for your information. Let's listen. They're very important.
So my question to Mazzi Madubu, there was something you posted on your timeline. You see that, and many people have asked that question here on the comment section. Is it both past and present legal team that any of them that is frustrating NNAMDI KANU pay for it? I want you to highlight that area because we know the present legal team, they are not in tandem with IPOB, with IPOB. But do we have any past legal team that is frustrating this movement?
Mazzi, thank you very much. Mazzi Benjamin, I hope you understand the question, right? Okay. I'm going to answer.
If I understand the first question, I'm not sure that Igbo. I'm not saying Igbo.
Otu ọbụla Mazzi, but ọ ya aka mma na ịkọwatụrụ n'oyibo ma mgbe ọbụla ọ dị.
Ọ bụrụ okwu niile ka anyị na-ekwucha n'olu
ngwa sụọ n'Igbo ọ ka mma sụọ n'Igbo mecha mma akọwazi ya.
This is
the level. This is the level of when you see. That's why when you live abroad, there is abroad and it's abroad. I lived in East Europe. I think Russia. It was in the 90s, and it's mandatory when you go to Russia, Germany, that you have to do 6 months language course for you to be able to communicate. Like UK here, UK is an English-speaking country in America. Even though you're not perfect, the tongue is different. You have an accent, but at least you can still navigate. But so it's mandatory that when you go, it's like Russia. When you go to Russia and your teacher asks you, you say normal. You can't say normal. Normal means you say, when the teacher asks you, how are you? He says, I'm fine. You can't say that in Russia because remember, these people were communists. You have to say, Piat means 50-50. Never answer and normal, which is fine. This man here, I think I can say he traveled to Russia. Maybe that was his own limitation of abroad. For him to not knowing, maybe we see this particular, let him speak any Igbo and go to Google or get any dictionary. There's so many translating apps you can have these days, AIs. It can be translated. Dictionary can translate Igbo very easy. Speak anything. I will put it in translation and send it back to you. Easy. So you guys need to be careful. I just want to educate you a little bit, but continue.
Ihe mere nwanne m nwoke jụrụ ajụjụ gịnị kpatara m akọchọnụbeghị kalụnda na the insult ọ na-enye Chinasa ọ na blackmail ọnya agba ọnya na-akpọ people names.
You see why I don't want to jump this audio? This audio is very, very important from the last broadcast I made. I need why I came back to this particular audio before I'm going to come back from where all this whole thing started. Very important. I want you to understand why I'm playing this audio now. Last broadcast I did, Benjamin Imadbog, the last jamboree he went to do so-called BTV on Facebook Live with this pizza general. You know? Now, this is some of the conversation. So there's something I want us to see. Before now, I want to bring, I want to raffle what I've covered in IPOB and genesis of it. That's why I call it explosive exposition. That's going to go forward from now. This is who showed Mazzi and the compasses. Very important because all these people were people that were there. They knew. Those that were there, no one was kidnapped. They didn't say anything. We know. Based as we transcend on this particular, journey. Very, very important.
They free from that guy. And they free from him. Everybody the same thing. The same way goes out, it goes out everybody names. It goes out blackmail everybody.
The fact, I want you to take one thing here because that's what I'm going to play. When they said this is how KANU is abusing people, blackmailing people, I want somebody to give me one audio. KANU call them media worms, the church card media warriors. The one they call in South Africa agreed with KANU on his own program that he was doing because he understood why. We don't induce our own. That they are the church card media warrior because they buy them. He had even said 4K. They share it for 4,000 naira to them. So we are as KANU lied. Benjamin Imadbog and Co. I need you to. I will play audios. I'm playing yours now. Give us one audio where KANU have got contrary to IPOB code of conduct. I just say one. The tweet KANU tweeted about sit at home. Who is right between sit at home? Umeh the account I'm going to play. I'm going to play the genesis of what happened. The crime of KANU I will play them tonight, but I want to finish with you because your one I have done with your program. But let's go back because my challenge I'm throwing to everybody tonight. Those that are watching are those that are going to watch. Give me one evidence that KANU or Umeh have done that contravene IPOB code of conduct. Oh, is he a crime that Umeh did not respond to him? Why do you seek Umeh's validation? KANU, show me one blackmail from KANU. I want you, like I said, there's the audio I'm going to play tonight. Remember what he has said.
Okay, he like a broadcast session as a the same time only thing with Ensobu, not up to 1 year. If was I only say we put the thief, we be a Milachinasa, we brew I'll be no baby, my dear brother. I'll be no baby that time. That guy.
That's one thing in life. Clear conscience fears any accusation. Benjamin Imadbog, if you knew you wasn't lying, because all these things you're doing is very petty. Igbo language is being translated. If secret agent or FBI, even in the zoo, if the so-called DSS that Chinasa want to give credit that they know what they are doing, can translate Igbo, They don't need Igbo man to translate it. For your information, AI will translate Igbo language for your information. I want you to put this in back of your mind. Maybe sometimes you're talking on any place, say, oh, nobody know. Bro, if you try it in a civilized country, they're monitoring you, you go to prison. Simple as ABC. Now continue.
Blackmail. Go no rap. Go Amadu wa George. Or the keep any law them man. Another have to hit up the system.
Yes.
Now, there's something I want to remind Benjamin in Madbook. Benjamin in Madbook, you ran away from Ihiara. What was your reason why you left Ihiara? Or you're still back in Ihiara? You see that thing he say, that comment you made, I want you to hold on to that comment because we'll come back to that comment. I just want you to hold on to that comment. You tell me a caller, haven't he heard? And KANU Takano have that discussion with you. And true, there was nothing that was in your position that you could not manage. Truly. You don't have to mention Onyendu's name in there. But there was something that wasn't in your position that you could not manage. Or we couldn't find it where it is today. Let's leave it there. Now, I'm still going on the blackmail. This guy they call Isaiah Oba. This belated monk that lives in the so-called deputy European rep. I have conversation with him. It was on conference call during the time issue of UK, not Europe, when they did this, what they did in Company's House. I spent almost 45 minutes talking to this animal. Thought I was talking to a human being. Now, he said something in this audio, the same General Pizza was using to do program. I cut it off for a reason. They're mentioning KANU Takano called him, told him something. Bring the evidence. Before you say somebody say, bring the evidence with you. Hearsay. It's not, nobody, no, you can't, listen, we are not living in a world, and especially this end time we have technology is evoked, social media is there. When you're talking to somebody, you record that person's voice. Like in the UK, when I say somebody say, I got the person's voice with me, or I get something that person written. Bring where KANU Takano told you to stop attacking Simon Ekpa. Or where KANU Takano say that to you. But KANU Takano could write a restraint order to Simon Ekpa that you boys couldn't do. When this thing happened, you guys asked me to go and do that. You guys, Aban is going to sign. And I turn around and say, for what? What makes you European rep? That I should be the one running around to go get the restraint order against what you guys instituted. I want to listen to this before I move forward, please. I just added it on this for a reason. I just want to comment on it.
His brother to be where he is. A lot of attack. I activated my block industry, employ people.
Correct, man.
You know, block molders. They went into work. I blocked thousands of them.
Maza is Ayoba. Great man.
Discipline. I will talk about him. But not now. He sent me a message.
Yes.
Not to attack a Ekperima.
Listen, that's one thing I love about KANU Takano. I'm going to say it here openly. You know why? When somebody is lying, we know. But somebody will be telling you something and quoting date. That being specific. Isaiah Yoruba, my challenge to you tonight, tomorrow morning, put that audio or write up KANU Takano, send you to stop attacking Simon Ekpa. You people created Simon Ekpa. You, as Deputy European Rep, could not write common restraint order to Simon Ekpa to stop him personating IPOB name that registered in the United Kingdom. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. You people could not initiate that particular commonest name on earth. That someone is impersonating on your name. You could not restrain that person by formally, as legal proceeding requires. KANU Takano did it single-handedly. And Simon got the message, and he was trading with caution because he understands the implication of that. Not you people that gathered our money in Italy and went to Finland to go make mockery of yourself. After you guys stole money that is in our account in Italy, what did you guys do? You flew people to some of gullible one, join you people, going to Finland, you're going to protest against Simon Ekpa. You went there and make mockery of yourselves. Your leader told you, no matter what, don't respond to this man. But you guys woke up every morning, you're calling Simon Ekpa's name. As if without Simon Ekpa, there's nothing else. There's no agenda anymore. You guys have on your head. There's nothing else you guys can talk about. A grown-ass man woke up in the morning and sit down talking about a fellow man. That has done nothing, absolutely nothing to you. That you created him as an alibi. It's in my imagination. Now let's move forward. Tonight, like I called it explosive exposition. The broadcast I'm bringing here is the genesis of what is rocking IPOB today. And I want you to listen to it very, 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 very methodically because, like I said, if I finish this now, I'm just like you see, I went back and bring Benjamin the man who was. I played it because I don't want to miss anything. I will start with their joint broadcast. Before I come to Chike, you will see the date of that broadcast. We'll analyze it.
And of course, to this effect, Monday we stand. Ghost Town is the key. And this microphone at this juncture will be extended to Mazzi on my.
For avoidance of that, the person hearing his voice here, Tony Nzurumike, the one they called the Deputy Director of State. This man stole our money in South Africa and went home and married. He confessed in the audio where he was making mockery of himself that he actually went home. This is the detrimental. We found ourselves. The people that are in hierarchy in IP will be sneaked back home. Right? So none of these people can come and defend you in court as an IP will be seeking asylum. You know why? Because when they put you on dock, the prosecutor will ask you a question. When was the last time you traveled back home? He told him last year. He said, but why are you saying that this man's life is on that? Because they know. They will ask you that question for you to lie. Because if you lie, the system is not Zoo system. Because who is asking you is Home Office. So Home Office know you're in and out of the country. If you lie to them, they will laugh. They will shoot their head and they won't question you. But already they have affected the person they come to be a witness to. Some people don't know this. Some people might travel say, oh, they didn't know. But as long as they have your date of birth and your name, they know when you come to this country and left. They will, first question they will ask you, when was the last time you visited Nigeria? He told them, if he's under 2 years, they will send them. Why are you saying that this person's life is under threatened? But you travel back home as a member of IPOB. I wanna stop you there. Now, Tony Nzurumike, this is the joint broadcast, and this is when this Monday sit at home was wrangling. After Chinasa Nworu announced this, then on the 29th of June, they held a meeting. This same KANU told them, because there's nothing to hide, that this sit at home Onyendu asked to suspend it. That was the reason why Chikerism did not come and announce it. Chinasa Nworu, like I said, Chinasa Nworu is playing the role of Clifford Irwanya in 2015, 16, 17, 18. Because I think he's vocal. But at least we know who Clifford Irwanya was. Clifford Irwanya wasn't a wimp. We know him as a person. People have seen him. He goes around. People know his picture, know who Clifford Irwanya was. The difference is that we don't know who this guy is, but there on pictures we see in which we cannot verify. It's still allegedly. So he's playing that role now in a very featurous manner. That was John broadcast for them to now. All of them agree. So they unilaterally, disobey Mazzi Nnamdi. And that's why I say everybody. So when he was sending a message, everybody was reluctant to call off the seat at home. That was Chinasa Nworu's word in the same radio Biafra as they project in this whole journey. So tonight, this was the deem it breaking Q&A section with members of DOS. So the voice you're going to be listening, Nzurumike is introducing Chinasa Nworu. It's going to be Chinasa Nworu because I have my reason why. Let's move.
My table right now, Mazzi Nworu is the representative of the Middle East. Mazzi, take up the microphone.
Now, I want you to take a note here. This is the Deputy Directorate of State introducing China Sanwo-Olu as the Middle East rep. He never called him ESN commander or Agone Chenketa. None of this was none of this mentioned. At this stage, this guy was an errand boy. He's nobody. He introduced him as whom he is, and is a fair principal servant. Woefully. The whole Middle East was holding IPOB money. Only suspended him from his position before he was doing the errand boy underground. That was what happened. That was what happened. But I want to bring the canal back tonight. The emergence of China Sanwo-Olu and the cabal started from here. Listen.
Thank you, Deputy HOD. Am I coming out clear?
You are coming out clear, loud and clear, Mazzi. Go ahead.
Thank you, Deputy HOD, and thank you, my comrades, for us to answer this call to make sure we are speaking to our people to understand where we are going and what our stand are. I also use this opportunity to thank Mazzi, Jonathan, and Chinedu for anchoring this program. All the anchors on Radio Biafra, they are doing a very great job. They are why we are here. They continue. It's a selfless service, and we encourage them, and we will do everything in our own capacity in terms of support to lend our voice to make sure that this gospel continue to spread around and educate our people on the way forward. But not going too far, I want to introduce myself. My name is Mazzi China Sanwo-Olu. Mazzi China Sanwo-Olu is from Obingwa. Obingwa is in Aba province. And I serve the indigenous people of Biafra as the Middle East rep and also a member of the Directorate of State.
Now, let me tell you why. You know, when people are doing something, they're watering the ground. As the European rep, as a Middle East rep, you're automatically a member of Directorate of State. And that is how the Deputy Director of State introduced him. His position in IPOB is nothing other than European rep, Middle East rep till tomorrow morning if he's still in that position. I want you guys to pay attention. Somebody introducing himself 2 times, twice, doesn't make any sense. China Sanwo-Olu, you are a Middle East rep. Automatically, you are a member of DOS. So there's no need for you to use the word a member of Directorate of State. You are a member of Directorate of State as European rep, as a Middle East rep. But this is when he was watering the ground because they had a plan. That plan is what is metamorphosing today. Everybody's saying it. I want you to pay attention because I'm going to analyze these audios one by one. Probably I'm not going to play Chikedozem. Chikedozem is going to be in episode 10 before his new broadcast he made. I oblige them to come and speak and talk. We welcome it. Very, very important.
Without taking much of our time or going much, I'm just going straight to the point this evening. Biafrans and lovers of freedom. The day we agreed, this is what you yearn for. The leadership hear the voice of our people who were yearning for an action, a way to demonstrate our anger.
I want you to note one thing. Before all this shenanigans going on, the meeting they held on the 29th of July, already, Onyendu have instructed, I think after that this sit at home must be suspended. You know, must be suspended. It's already been communicated to these animals. But you can hear the exuberance that he has. Our people were yawning, and that's where we're yawning. That's where we are today. That yawn has brought us to our knee today. But I want you to remember where our problem is. So when they are calling, listen to me. You see, Simon Ekpa is not supposed to be mentioned by any IPOB member if he's still following the due process of IPOB. That is a standing order from our leader. That's what I told you. 2015 system, we never mentioned any of so-called fraction they wanted to create within IPOB because there is, in the moment you mention it, you validate them. That's how it works in the real world. But some of you monk don't understand, you don't know. Why? When you saw, you shouldn't respond no matter what. None of you understand what that word means. We've gone through this phase before. So we, sometimes they say in job, experience matters a lot. Experience matters a lot. What you can offer in the field is sometimes is what qualifies you for a job. Not your qualification. It's what you can offer. Very important.
Towards the extraordinary rendition of our leader. Even on the 26th, most of you locked down some cities. We did not call for it. It is what you people yearned for. The leadership went through, had a series of meetings, and come up with this Ghost Monday. It is a way, it is one of the simplest things we can do to demonstrate. If you can see, the day we announced this, remember that the DSS have refused even the lawyers to meet our leader. But the moment we announce this, they give a way for our leader to meet his lawyers, the legal counsels. And since we announced this, we have nothing to hide in this struggle. Some of the politicians, their agents, they are calling and disturbing us. And I will make it very clear here. We are not politicians. We are freedom fighters. We and IPOB leadership are not politicians.
Let me say something. When anybody hear this guy, barking like a mad dog, you think maybe this person has something to offer. You see how he intimidated this, he silenced all these individuals. This is where all these things started. Pay attention to his word. We are not politicians. We'll get to all of this, but that's where I'm going. Because I want this particular place to go. That's a place I want to get before I talk. I want to give you some time. Let him continue talking.
And I will make it very clear for those of you running around the bodies of this.
If you heard him, some of them are calling. If you remember, that was when they put, you know how many times they wrote press release about mentioning people's name when the blackmail started. Because that blackmail based on when they blackmail you, give them money. That was what's happening. It wasn't Onyendu's family doing it. It was them doing it. But I want us to go forward. Let's continue listening.
Politician coming with your fake promises and all these things, we are not going to tolerate this. If anybody has something tangible to offer IPOB to take this struggle forward, you come out openly and discuss it with the leadership of IPOB. We are not going to entertain all this bedroom talk. And if you
and there's something you must take note here. There is nothing like leadership of IPOB. I repeat, the same way they call it autopilot, that the same way when they mention the word leadership in IPOB, that is the word it is outside our structure. If you're on IPOB, which all of them are involved, China Sanworu, from 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, why didn't you use leadership of IPOB then? You were still European Middle East rep. China was European rep before he became director of a state, head of HOD. Why didn't you people use this word leadership? My question, I'm going to ask the very fundamental question. Why didn't we hear leadership in 2015, 16, 17, 18 before Onyendu surface after 1 year? Why didn't we hear leadership? Did we not have leadership then? Why didn't we have a fraction leadership within leadership then? If you don't answer this question, that means you guys are not going anywhere. So anybody you're projecting as an autopilot, they are more better than new people, if I might put it in that perspective. Because, at the end of the day, the only person that can decide this battle is Onyendu. Nobody else, not me. That's why I say nothing to anybody. As long as I know you're under oath, you make a decision, I won't question it. because I know why you're involved. You know what is at stake.
Disturb us too much, we were going to mention your name on air because you have nothing to offer. You people have nothing to offer than to run to the politicians, collect peanuts, and come to disturb our telephones and disturb our messages. It is very shameful that some people take it as a challenge to make sure we call. We have already said it, that this sit at home will be reviewed. We said it, both in our press release.
We said it. Did your leader approve it? Who are the we? Who are the we? You. You made that decision. That is the reason why I'm playing this deep voice tonight. So you people should divert your attention to yourselves. Rather not mention anybody is what happening in Biafra land because you people caused it. Because the order was said, stop the sit at home. Before even, and that sit at home has not, he only caused all what he brought is mayhem in Biafra land, which you only do is against it tomorrow morning. When you say we, who are these we? It's important.
Please, and on the day I made the statement, I said, as time goes on, we are going to review this sit at home. I do not see the reason why people will take it as if it is there. We are talking about Biafra here. We are talking about the life of our people here. People are coming, talking rubbish, telling us, my daughter has NECO. ASU goes on strike for 1 year. When people have an exam, did you tell ASU that your daughter had to graduate in 1 year? People go into university to graduate in 4 years, they come out after 9 years. Doctors are presently on strike. People are dying. You don't call the doctors to return. Our people have no road to go to their homes. You don't call the governors to go and fix it. What you are fast to call is because your daughter have NECO. Here. Because your daughter have NECO exam. For that reason, we have to call off the sit at home. Notwithstanding Biafrans, the leadership of IPOB will review the sit at home and put up other measures if they need be, that we make sure we say what does these people really want? What does Igbo people want? The governors, you don't want us to have sit at home. You don't want us to have protest. You want us to just sit and wait for you to go and negotiate the release of NNAMDI KANU. Did you negotiate his release the first time? Did you? Everybody come to promise us
the fact is that China Sanwori didn't know how Onyendu was released the first time. That's one thing. So what you're not privy to is what you don't question. Very, very important. What you're not privy to, you can't talk about it. You are just ordinary Middle East rep. A fair one for that matter. Before now. Let's get that clear.
I will buy you this and I will go to negotiate NNAMDI KANU to come out. You come here to talk. You think you are talking to kids? We should know that this is a freedom fighting movement. Anything that we can do to help our enemies as they are doing to us, we must do it. Are you happy that our leader is in their hands? Most of you are out there castigating the leadership of this struggle. That how they saw the leader. Most of you was on air talking rubbish, calling us names, threatening our lives. But I'm not going to go into that because our duty is to make sure IPOB family remains united, remain the same, because the enemy wants us to divert. But the day will come. Though
I hope you heard what he said, what enemy wants. But listen to what he's saying. And everything he said here is what they have done. I said it in before. Whatever, anything China Sanwo-Olu said is something he has planned to do or something he has done. Go back. Every single thing that young man has said, I will have. Go back and find out that everything he has opened his mouth says maybe something they are planning to do or something they have already done.
who knew what happened to our leader, we will mention their name on air and their friends will tear them alive. Nothing will stop us to mention.
So you know the people that sold our leader, and you mention their name. This thing is happening. This was on August 7th. So Onyendu was kidnapped on 19th of July. Is it June? I think it's June. And was brought back, I think, on 27th of June, right? And July, August. This was barely 6 weeks. Onyendu have this issue, and this was what coming out of this guy's mouth. Just look at the margin. Just look at the margin. I want you to see the time margin when this whole thing was coming out of his mouth.
Those who have pre-information that our leader was being held and they hide it, they told us that he was okay, he was praying. The day will come, we will mention it on air. Then those people and their friends will go to sort out their issues. What they knew about the extra rendition of our leader. This nonsense has to stop. This struggle is not about family. Jesus Christ was having brothers and sisters, and he found none of them worthy to be any of his disciples. We are not here because you are a brother to our leader, you are a brother to me, you are a sister to my uncle, you are this and you are that. We are not here for that. This struggle, people have died.
Now,
Media International.
that audio, I want you to remember what Chinasa Sanwo-Olu said on that audio, because he mentioned then we didn't know about his sister, but projection. Remember the word. That sister is in Italy. That lady, she said she's a witch with her own mouth, because I did an extensive program. I think episode 16 or so. Italians, it wasn't hearsay. This is a word that comes out of their mouth. The so-called BTV office in Italy, they pay 2 years ahead. They say they opened the Asian office. Now, nobody had of it on BTV in Padova tomorrow morning as we're speaking now. They invaded the Italian account and stole all the money that was in it. So now, what am I driving at here is this, is that Chinasa Sanwo-Olu said that Onyendu brother and those that know that Onyendu was kidnapped and he was in the mountain praying. This is what he said, because he remember this is where he lay all these things down. Before now, he came out and said KANU told him that Onyendu was in the mountain praying. And I asked KANU 101 about that issue. That's what I'm telling them. It is not hearsay. Then Chinasa Sanwo-Olu didn't tell anybody that he was in the phone. They said they didn't know Onyendu traveled to Kenya. That's what they told us, that they didn't know where Onyendu was. But he said he was in the phone that day with Onyendu. Now, I will play the audio. You will talk to your leader every day. You've been communicating because you do errand for our leader. As one of the errand boys, all of us are errand to Onyendu. Now, the same as in NNAMDI you spoke on a daily basis. The first day passed. Second day, 8 days. No, third day, 5th day, 6th day, 7th day, 8 days. You didn't see him. Remember, they said the Onyendu siblings that I don't have any business with IPOB. So why are you calling Mazin KANU Takano or Umeh? Why didn't you call Onyendu wife and ask her where her husband is? That's something I want people to establish tonight. Chinasa Sanwo-Olu, you people say that KANU Takano said that Onyendu was in the mountain praying. But my question to you, why would you call KANU Takano if it's not a family business? Is KANU Takano Onyendu's security or his PA? I want to know. So why must you? Onyendu has a wife. So if KANU Takano is not part of what has been going on in IPOB, why must you people on DOS calling KANU Takano? People have not asked this question. I just showed you the memo chick, those same goods. This is I want you know, like I said, this program is deep. It's not, it doesn't mean for, you know, people that have a fizzle brain. You know what fizzle brain is? Yeah. I barely remember what happened yesterday. Now, this is a memo that put up by Chike Doziem about telling the world that Onyenu's families has got nothing to do with IPOB. But they turn around and say that they called Canon Takano Onyendu immediate younger brother. So my question to you tonight, China Sanworu, why would you call Canon Takano? If it's not a family business, I'm just curious to know. So let's reverse it now. If it wasn't a family business, why do you need to call Canon Takano? Why do you have his phone number in the first place? How did you get his phone number if he wasn't involved in what has been going on? As people ask this question, I see Benjamin Imadibu will film him about Meme. We're having two issues here now. Benjamin Imadibu was seeking validation from Meme, the same as Nankan siblings. Canon Takano, what does he call his name? Chinas and always make references about Canon Takano. They call Canon Takano and say Onyendu was in the mountain praying. I'm asking you, is Canon Takano Onyendu personal security or his PA? This is I'm just curious to know, how does that call has to go to Canon Takano first? Why is Canon Takano your first contact? Is it the next of king that Onyendu signed when he's not there to call him? If it is, then why do you have issues with it? I want to clarify this first as we're moving on. Now, China someone never mentioned to anybody that they have any contact with Onyendu in the first place when he was aware. They said they never knew where Onyendu was. That is why I told them, you see that radio you people are, where you committed all this crime. The blood of our people is attached to everything we do. That blood we haunt all of you will confess, but you wouldn't know when you're confessing. You know the person that you two back confess on podcast. You don't know the power behind this podcast. You know, before the conventional media houses like BBC and CNN, yeah, control media. It's no longer anymore. Just like I'm here now broadcasting from my sitting room, right, my office. Now, so the world has made it open, but whatever you say can be held accountable again. Whatever you say can be used against you in the court of law, even if it's on social media. Whatever you said, because you want that the person that you two back over 3 decades ago, the man is in prison. Kiddy for whatever his name is, he's in prison now by what he said in the podcast. I want you to remember this. So the question tonight is this: why are you calling Canon Takano? Why are you calling Meme? But you people are telling the world that they have no business with IPOB. My question is that why do you need their validation? Why do you need Canon Takano to tell you where your boss is? I'm just asking. And this question needs to be answered. Now, who sold Mazzi Nnamdi? You told us who sold Mazzi Nnamdi was sold for 9 million. But when you were saying this, you say you people didn't know that Onyendu traveled. You people didn't know that Onyendu was in Kenya. But there was a scheduled meeting that day. Even there was a scheduled meeting. The funny thing is that day, the day Onyendu was kidnapped, there was a scheduled meeting from the whole US. But they never find it fit. So you are calling Canon Takano. Canon Takano is the only one that can tell you where Onyendu is. Don't you see that something is wrong somewhere? For you to be now shooting yourself on the foot, you don't have anything to say than to push it to Canon Takano. But after you told the world what happened, I want you to listen to Chinas Sanwo-Olu concerning when Onyendu was kidnapped, because this is what happened on the 7th of August 2021. I was their joint brokers where they were, on United decision to disobey Mazzi Nnamdi that brought the mayhem in Biafra land. So whenever somebody asks you, even though Chike knows them as their lead, accepted it publicly, now, which I'm going to play. Now, look at what Chinas Sanwo-Olu said. Concerning Onyendu, they said that Onyendu was in the mountain praying, but he was aware that Onyendu was not there. He did nothing.
So, dear friends, from where I stopped, I was talking about how our brother Mazzi Nnamdi, we tried to make sure he visited Mazzi Nnamdi.
Remember, he said we try. This is the crime Ejiofor committed. Ejiofor signed memorandum with DSS that nobody shall come to visit Onyendu without them being vet force from him. He allowed Benjamin in Madubu to go there when he accomplishes all his deed. And Benjamin in Madubu will be in a house that is. The day he finally went there after 8 months, the man brought him and sat him down in his office, telling him what to say to Biafrans. On top of that, he actually took Okabiam and slapped him from the back. He told the world that Onyendu was angry with DOS. When Mazin Nandekano, anybody that is have walked close to Onyendu know that when Onyendu get angry, his anger comes with a severe consequences. Everybody that have walked close to Onyendu know. And you know what that means. They are gunners. When you say it in the court, they are gunners. They are what? Gunners. And I think I need to quickly have just like a 2 minutes. A 2 minute.
They don't know the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the east, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you?
I'm not the Kanu. Who is the idiot? They don't know the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the east, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you?
I'm not the Kanu. Who is the idiot?
Come on, no, not at all. What should I do? It's what we expect to have. But I want our people to be very calm. I want Biafra land to be calm and peaceful. Calm.
They don't know the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the east, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you?
I'm not the Kanu. Who is the idiot? They don't know the Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the east, and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you?
Very, very important. Nobody can. And China Samora, I hope you listen to this. It's very, very important that we know this is not a child's play. This is reality. And now as I continue, like I said, I'm almost 2 hours plus here. And like I said tonight, what I'm going to do, I don't want to hold this program for long. So I'm going to wrap up based on China Samora. Then who sold Maz and then kind of continue. I want you to hear China Samoru's voice. And then from there, we're going to move forward, but I cannot pass more than 2 hours and 15 minutes on this program, which will not allow me to go into Chike Doziem and the whole stuff of them, which is going to come on episode 0010 of Who Sold Maz and NNAMDI. It's very, very important that we understand that it just doesn't stop here. Who Sold Maz and NNAMDI compasses a lot, because that is genesis of the fundamental issue we are facing. So now, you have had China Samora. I want you to hear him. But remember my question tonight. If Maz and NNAMDI siblings are the problem and they have got nothing to contribute in IPOB, why are you seeking validation from them and seeking for information from them? That is my question. Very important.
And Maz and NNAMDI on several occasions have asked him to come and see him in the BSS dungeon, which we have tried on many occasions and failed. But, Chukwu Kabiama is great. Last month, when we asked him to come also, he went there. He could not see him. But so God...
He didn't say that Ejiofor did not want him to go and see Onyendu. They wouldn't say that. They said they tried. It wasn't DSS. It was Ejiofor. All this whole time they were telling you it wasn't it was a Ejiofor. Sign with the I've played it, I'll read it here. I'm made it available to public. You can't even the doctors, the same thing happened. They blocked them because That memorandum is between him and the DSS as the lead counsel. That was what happened. And the same thing was played everybody, including all these zombies around.
You know, with Infinite Macy last Thursday, he went there and he was able to meet NNAMDI KANU. And we realized also for the fact that there is nobody from the leadership who goes directly or who can be able to communicate to NNAMDI KANU. That people took that opportunity to blackmail IPOB leadership. They took that opportunity to blackmail everybody they think that will be a hindrance for them to be able to hijack the struggle. That was what has been happening for 2 years. Because I could remember
the blackmail. I just played the audio. The blackmail he initiated. They initiated the blackmail. They unilaterally agreed to disobey NNAMDI KANU is on audio. And now what that took place on that Q&A of DOS joint broadcast led by the Deputy Director of State, Nzulumike, the one that took our money and got married, took our money in South Africa on the 7th of August 2021. That is where the whole leadership agenda started. The cabal emerged on the 7th, and Chikedozen came on air on 23rd of August, which I'm going to play subsequently on my next program.
The day NNAMDI KANU was kidnapped, everything was in order. We were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with.
He said, like I used to say it, he never said it, it was on this broadcast, and that was the last time Chukwuabiama slapped him. He confessed that day. That day, he never mentioned, he never again used this word again that he was communicating with the NNAMDI KANU. He uttered this word without knowing when he said it. But he said that KANU knew. But you were communicating with the NNAMDI KANU the day Onyendu. And the next day, he didn't say that Onyendu, I have not heard from Onyendu. The man you speak to every day, morning, night, evening, afternoon, for 8 straight days. He did nothing. He didn't raise any eyebrow. But instead, he said you're calling KANU that has nothing to do with IPOB. How does that work out? What's the equation here? So KANU and Memena has become a tool for you whenever you want. You go there and pick them up. As what? We need to have a distinction here. Because we want to understand why you're going to KANU if it's irrelevant. You have a memo saying that the KANU Onyendu families has got nothing to do with IPOB. They're not involved. So why, when you're looking for Onyendu, did KANU employ you? Is it the one that make you that H1D? So why must you go to KANU? Why? That's not any position in IPOB. So why do you need him? That's the question. Because people never ask this question. So why are you asking KANU about where is Onyendu about? Onyendu has a family, has immediate family, which is his wife.
Him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, when NNAMDI KANU, we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with him on that particular day.
Yes, I think you had it. It's not me that said it. So I wanted to, to seal that particular conversation, China Sanwo-Olu's part tonight, because China Sanwo-Olu, the reason why I played this particular audio that you guys join broadcast is to show Biafrans whom you are, your position, and the blackmail in IPOB. There is no other that started it. The people they have called out on Radio Biafra was you, that first person that come and call people out. Even when Onyendu passed order through the same age of 4, I think that was one of the messages he wrote one time, that Onyendu directly instructed him to write that none of these individuals, he mentioned KANU, Caroline, but I think another person's name there. They are not involved with those that sold him. But Chike doesn't never pick up his pen and paper to actually certify it with IPOB letterheading, which he's using to bully people around. Tells you all you need to know. Now, Biafrans, the reason why I'm playing this to lay foundation on the last broadcast China Sanwo-Olu came to do in Radio Biafra, the one they call what did they call it? They call it what was that broadcast called again? I said no. That was what they deem it. I think I need to find the capture of that broadcast, which okay, now let me play the voice of Jonathan. I'm not gonna go far on it because I don't want to, I'm not gonna play it for long tonight. But I just wanna show you something. That's something I want you to take note here. Very important. You know, because sometimes people can be deceitful, but it doesn't work for us anymore. And that day something happened.
Bring your big and the papers in order to write down the information that you are going to receive today. And also today, there is not going to be any opening lines. Please.
Remember that I told China Sanwo-Olu to tell Biafrans who sold Mazzi and NNAMDI. You know, we have you to know deal. You know, this broadcast will analyze it, but not tonight. Before this broadcast will be analyzed, the Genesis, the one he held on the 23rd of August 2021, need to be aired again to Biafran and analyzed to Biafran. But before I leave, I need to play a couple of your voices. I want Biafrans to pay attention.
Times are different with the time we are in. The kind of detention somebody is equating to that you don't take orders is the time when messages passes from one hand to another before it gets to the leader. Now, we have been in this struggle. We work with Mazzi and NNAMDI KANU. Ask the lawyers. There are message. If they bring it, we told them this message is not what we expect. That means the message might be diluted. We now use our brain and decode the remaining things we have to do. That is why we are living. Times are different with the time we are in. Request the leadership. He has the capable hands. If you ask the legal teams, if you ask anybody who have known him, he have always said in his absence, and that is what the IPOB Code of Conduct said, in his absence that Chike Doziem takes charge. When people say Chike Doziem,
you know, there's something that makes me laugh. This guy, yeah, I don't know where this guy is getting his. That's why you know that 90% of whatever China Sanwo-Olu have said, if China Sanwo-Olu can quote IPOB Code of Conduct wrongly, upon all this jump up and down that he's doing, he can quote IPOB Code of Conduct wrongly. That our Code of Conduct says when Onyendu is not there, that Chike Doziem will take charge. Whereas second in command in IPOB has been abolished. There's no such in our Code of Conduct. Tells you all you need to know. Tells you all you need to know about this set of individuals. There's so many things to talk about them, but like I rightly said tonight, disobeying Mazzi and NNAMDI KANU and how the sit at home comes about, the record is there and it's very straight. Like I said, I'm taking my time with this particular exposition because the question I asked them tonight, people must start asking them is this. Why do you want to get validation from KANU, but they have got no business with IPOB? Let's go back to when Onyendu was rendition. Why do you need to get to KANU to know where your leader is? None of you have asked this question. None of you have asked this question. You're calling KANU to tell you where Onyendu is. Why? IPOB is not a family business. Then why do you need KANU to tell you where your leader is? This question is what I want you to take home tonight as we unravel a lot of things. China Sanwo-Olu is the is the how do that, what's the right word to use? Because I said in 2015, Clifford Iranian role is what is Brutus of our time. You know Brutus? Kenan Sanwo is the Brutus of our time. Brutus of our time is Kenan Sanwo. I want Biafra to pay attention because every blackmail, just like what I show you, everything they do is about deceit and lie and blackmail. The family right has told you that Ejimako didn't tell the public, but so they wasn't aware what transpired in court in the 19th of March 2024. Is that what they're telling us? But like I said, they continue to sell themselves and make mockery of themselves. But I will continue with this, like I said, because it's like I said, I'm almost 2 hours 15 minutes, and that's the mark I can go on this program. Next week, we're definitely going to go to episode 0010. And like I said, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, may Chukwu continue to guide us. And most importantly is that this program is designed to educate us, to understand, to open our eyes. And the question still remains: who sold Mazzi Nnamdi for 9 million? And that's fundamental question. Who told us? Some Chinas and all told us. So I want every Biafra to understand the blackmail will not wash anymore. KANU with a meme has got no special interest as far as I'm concerned. Their elder brother is in prison, which is our leader. If we don't respect them, I don't think anybody have respect for Onyendu. If you could pick up pen and paper and write against them that they're not part of this family, whereas their two parents have died because of this struggle, that's already have shown that all of you have no regard for our leader. And the signal is so damning. But one thing is certain, because Onyendu is the only person that have the key to unlock what we are doing. People must understand that. And he's the man that have the last say. So this program is designed to unravel those that have seen fit that they will blackmail their fellow comrades for them. I don't know what they want to achieve, but for us, we are under oath as one family. IPOB is one big family. And we must understand that we cannot speak ill against each other. But these men were the people that brought this propaganda against us, blackmailing people with memo. Once you disagree with them, because I believe in our code of conduct. So I don't think me and Chikirism will have any contact because it's directed of state. I'm just a zonal coordinator. So why would I have communication with him? You have to pass through our national coordinator before even coming to regional coordinator to get to where I am. So why? But because they descend so low and now have soiled their hand and things are falling apart. But one thing is certain: at this end of this journey, Biafra will emerge, our leader will be out, and those that have soiled their hands will pay the ultimate price. And I thank all of you for listening, and those that are being with us this evening and those that are going to listen. This program is, for me, is epic. And it's a documentary that you must pay attention to because there's so much information that you have to do something with. It takes us time to get all this information. Make sure to give it to you organically as it comes. Thank you for listening. And this is still Biafra, Alpha Power Media. And I'm signing off from here from United Kingdom.